This is such a great view. I really hope you all get to do this sometime. It's really, really impressive. You look amazing. I want to thank Provost Bruschwitz and President Green for the invitation to speak with you today, and to personally welcome the class of 2029 to Colby College on the eve of your first classes. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here today. As you've heard, this is a bit of a deja vu experience for me as well. I did once sit in the same place you are, up the hill a little bit, but right here at Colby, that you find yourself experiencing this same moment. To say that I was a little nervous back then, that's an understatement. And if you're not nervous, by the way, then it's possible you haven't considered what's about to unfold before you. And perhaps my remarks will help you focus on what's ahead. On the other hand, some of you might be scared silly about what tomorrow will bring, and I'll take that challenge too, to try and help you channel that anxiety into some level of confidence and whet your appetite for the intellectual buffet of challenges that are being prepared for you. For me, I think I was nervous because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know, for example, that just a couple of days early, I had met someone at a party who would turn out to be the most important person in my life. Someone who almost 5 decades later, would continue to inspire me to ask myself, who am I and what am I doing? I know my colleagues are still trying to wrap their brain around 5 decades of Colby identity. And the rest of you in front of me are probably trying to remember who it was you met this week that might hang around for 50 years. But there's been a lot written lately about Generation Alpha. That's you folks. And what it means for you to be in college right now. You are the first generation to have lived your entire lives in the 21st century. You are also the most technologically fluent generation to date. There's a sense that young people today are at places like Colby because it's where they're supposed to be. And the reality is most of you have been on a path to be here for as long as you can remember. But why are you here? Are you really prepared for this thing called college? Well, if we're to believe today's op-ed pages, podcasts, social media posts, and online educational forums, students today in a post-COVID, Internet of Things, age of AI, don't know how to do college. You don't know how to take notes for a 75-minute statistics class, prepare for an introductory economics exam, write an original essay based on well-informed critical thinking, craft a chemistry lab report, or be able to lead a discussion of your professor's scholarly work. Well, my response to this is, of course you don't know how to do college. If you did, you wouldn't be here. And based on my years of experience, I can say to you with confidence that there is a place for you at Colby College. Now, the reason you are here isn't all that different from what it was for me as a kid who just moved to the East Coast and grew up in rural Kansas. It's not about can you do college. You can't answer that yet. It's about finding out who you are and what you're going to do with the opportunities and challenges that lay before you. You know, who you are, what are you doing? These are questions that it's just important for institutions to be able to answer as it is for individuals. It's the job of President Green and Provost Bruschwitz and every member of the faculty to be able to answer these questions in a meaningful way that exemplifies the identity of Colby and keeps us mission focused. You know, a couple weeks ago, a group of high school guidance counselors passed through Colby as part of their tour of liberal arts colleges of the Northeast. I just finished a presentation about the Davis Institute for Artificial Intelligence, and one of the counselors stood up and asked me, "What makes you special?" Now, as you've heard, I've been fortunate in my career to represent Colby in a wide variety of places, both personally and professionally. I've been asked versions of this question from parents, fellow alums, employers, colleagues, and students. And I knew that this guy was ready to pounce if I gave him an answer that he was expecting. And while it's tempting to say, well, no one has an AI institute like we do, or recite educational precepts found in the Colby's catalog, or read our mission statement that I'm pretty sure was written before your parents were born, or wax philosophically about the value proposition of a liberal arts education, I know that there's not a lot in these types of answers that truly distinguishes us from other good colleges and universities, and this guidance counselor knew that too. No, when you get a question like this, I've learned that what you need is an answer that will set them back on their heels, throw them off balance for a moment, and cause them to recalibrate some of the follow-up arguments that he was ready to unload on me. I told him that at Colby College, we offer a polymathic approach to learning. That wasn't the answer he was expecting. Here's what I meant. Throughout history, a rare few individuals with a burning curiosity about humans and their relationship to the natural world acquired knowledge and expertise that transcended disciplinary boundaries. In doing so, they made lasting contributions to the natural and physical sciences, philosophy, the arts, and society. These people became known as polymaths. From people whose names and works you may already know, like Galileo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Benjamin Franklin, to less recognized scholars such as Ibn al-Haytham, a 10th century theologian, scientist, and philosopher who developed our understanding of the way humans perceive light, to Hildegard von Bingen, who's one of my favorite polymaths, a 14th century nun with a passion for botany, linguistics, music, and medicine, who wrote some of the first manuscripts on how the body responds to herbal treatments, and Zhang Heng, a first-century Chinese mathematician, astronomer, and engineer. These transdisciplinary thinkers left an enduring mark on culture and our understanding of the natural world. The foundational works of these remarkable individuals can be recognized today in artificial intelligence applications for computer vision, holistic medicine, and the analysis of photographs from the James Webb Telescope, all things you can do here at Colby. Their legacies remind us that our most profound insights often emerge when ideas collide across disciplines. At Colby, we embrace the polymathic approach to learning. Our curriculum intentionally bridges disciplines through distribution requirements that ensure that those of you who choose a major in the sciences will also engage with ethics, the creative arts, history, and philosophy. While those among you majoring in the humanities and social sciences gain an understanding of the scientific method through natural courses and laboratory and field research. This cross-pollination of knowledge, enhanced by a foreign language requirement that builds cultural appreciation and communication skills, fosters a capacity for critical thinking and innovation. Who are you? What are you doing? These are hard questions that take a lifetime to answer, and there are no shortcuts in pursuit of those answers. But it turns out, here at Colby, we're really skilled at helping you learn how to ask good questions. And when you get an answer, we'll show you how to deconstruct it into what you can understand and what needs further investigation and study. We call that critical thinking. Asking good questions and thinking critically, that's who we are. That's what we do. Throughout your lives, you'd have access to an unprecedented number of answer-generating tools, calculators, spreadsheet programs, Wikipedia, Google search engines, and now generative AI prompts, all available through 13.75 square inches of glass in the palm of your hand. It's true. ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini will give you answers, but none of them will teach you how to write or to articulate the intuition gained from a carefully crafted calculus application, or dance with confidence and joy, or share your emotions with that newfound friend through a poem, a painting, or a song that you wrote yourself. No, there are no shortcuts to a Colby College education. Learning is hard, and it should be. Aristotle, another polymath, is quoted as having said, "The roots of education may be bitter, but the fruit is often sweet." Colby's distribution requirements are there to broaden your thinking, deepen your learning, and yes, may seem bitter at times, But I promise you the rewards of a polymathic path to understanding can indeed be sweet. This past year, I wrestled with the impacts of AI on what we do and who we are here at Colby. In this effort, I was impressed with a comment from the chair of our writing department. Ask her about generative AI, and she'll tell you that learning should not be frictionless, because it's the friction that enables understanding. Your faculty at Colby are here to provide that friction as you embark on a journey of understanding of who you are. It's a shared journey that'll enable you to accomplish things, you can't even imagine today. It's who we are. It's what we do. Speaking of friction, you're living in Maine now. You need to get some of those spiky things you put on the bottom of your shoes, because the sidewalks are going to get pretty slippery here in about a month. All right, let me conclude with a piece of advice, another piece of advice, and a prediction for your future. Here's my advice. Be an interesting person. Now, the best way to do this is to be curious. Curious people are interesting people. Curious people don't take shortcuts. They take the long way around. Curiosity also breeds resilience for those times when something happens in your life that you weren't prepared for. Be curious about the people around you. Explore what makes you interesting by what makes your neighbors special. Diversity comes in all sorts of forms, some visible, some not so visible. For me, understanding what diversity means requires communication skills, sharing ideas, asking questions about lived experiences that have brought us together, considering who we are together, and why we do what we do together, whether our differences are obvious or not, whether we agree or not. Here's a more practical way to be an interesting person, a recommendation I got from that Colby BFF I mentioned earlier. Find a hobby. People with hobbies are interesting people. Choose a hobby that sparks a passion in you, one that gets you out of your dorm room and inspires you to be creative and learn new things with and about new people. Okay, finally my prediction. Sometime soon, possibly as soon as homecoming, actually President Green's already did this to you, but possibly as soon as homecoming, someone who cares about you is going to ask you one of those loaded questions I mentioned at the beginning. A seemingly innocent question that they're just bursting at the seams to hear your answer and offer up a response. They're going to ask you, have you decided on a major yet? And when they do, you look them in the eye and you say, I'm going to be a polymath. Now go do it. Make it who you are. I've got a couple hundred colleagues ready to help you begin. Thank you.